down by the riverside. Carry them no more. I say to carry them no more. Carry them no more.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Glory to his name. I was lost in sin, in the valley of death. I am delivered. Praise the Lord. I am delivered. Praise the Lord. I am delivered. Glory to his name. I was lost in sin, in the valley of death. I am delivered. Praise the Lord.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Bang, 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 bang.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Move, Satan, move.
Now don't say taking all them little
Move, Satan.
nice back test tunes.
I am on.
Well, all you're seeing Reverend Bishop Lennox Smith earlier. Yes, he'll be doing the he'll be the master of ceremonies. Today, spiritual Baptist holiday. Up there with Archbishop Baba Burke, all of them. What's going to happen today? Let me before us do that. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Nigel Snipes. Director, pleasant good morning to you.
Pleasant good morning to you, Andy. Pleasant good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And pleasant good morning to our spiritual Baptist brothers and sisters in the faith.
Are they watching Lennox, boy? And look me now. Me know back there, I in jacket and shirt, yes. Where the hell is this? Look at this man. Well, today we can't talk about Obi at all. Where the hell is this? What's the preparations today, Lennox Smith, when it coming to this spiritual Baptist holiday that was awarded to the people of Trinidad and Tobago through the Basdio Pande UNC administration? Today is celebration. Where is the celebration? How things are? What is the preparation? What is your expectation? With the Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago visiting you all up there at what? I'm going to say the Mecca? Tell me. Good morning, Lennox Smith.
Yes, indeed. Good morning to you as well, my friend, of course, and good morning to all and sundry, east, west, north, central in Trinidad, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are streaming on the World Wide Web. A pleasant good day to you. Yes, this is Spiritual Shouter Baptist Liberation Day 2026. Yes, indeed. And, of course, celebrations are taking place all over the country. Because many people may not be aware, but people celebrate in their respective, let's say, genre. If it was music, but it's not music, it's spiritual, is religion. So therefore, I have to say that with their various dogma and their various precepts, varying a little bit, but of course all centered on one major entity, which of course is the Almighty. And even though in the case of the Orishas, They have different deities, but nothing different to the Hindus. So it is about celebration, it's about spirituality, it's about introspection, it is about advancement, it is about disseminating information that will dispel any kind of notion that, of course, the spiritual Shouter Baptist community is entity and part and parcel of the socio-economic, psycho-cultural, and spiritual fabric of cosmopolitan Trinidad and Tobago. That being as it may, in all specificity, let me say that today marks the 75th anniversary of the repeal, back, of course, in 1951, of the Shouter Baptist Prohibition Ordinance. As you may be aware, that in 1917, the ordinance was made law, proclaimed and made law in Trinidad and Tobago, that prevented the Shouter Baptist community from practicing their faith as every other denominational entity would have. And therefore, that level of what I consider to be bigotry, that level of discrimination, was eventually realized in terms of the conduct of the colonial authorities at the time. And therefore, the repealing of that dastard, evil, diabolical, what I consider to be anti-religious and free to practice measure was, of course, disbanded or repealed in 1951. And I want to take and make recognition to several persons that would have contributed to that repeal, including, of course, Uriah Buzz Butler. Yes, he was around at the time. No, Eric William was not around at the time. He came on the scene around 1954 and 56 thereabout. But certainly these incidents predated his presence in Trinidad and Tobago.
Was Butler a Baptist?
Yes, he was. He was a Baptist, and he made his contribution in the legislature to when the repeal came up for debate, as well as Ashford Sinanan, and we also, he in fact moved the motion in the assembly, and then also we had a very significant Indian gentleman. I'll get his name just now, but it's very, very famous. I don't know why it has slipped me, but certainly all of them played a significant part in, of course, getting this thing. Elton Griffith, of course, was the advocate, the central advocate for that, particularly after the First World War and before the Second World War. Well, yes, I should say before the end of this, and after the Second World War. Yeah,
I'm feeling complete. I have to organize and go to my vehicle. We can park up by the studios of Real Media, and put on something like resemble kind of Baptist something, man. Yeah, I'm feeling out of place. Watch at you, blue and yellow, this, that, and thing, and look at me.
Well, Trinidadians are suckers for occasion, and I would have expected nothing different from you in particular.
You go ahead.
In regard to the task that we have before us, so to disseminate information. So go ahead and make your transformation. Put on the appropriate apparel, so to speak. Whilst, of course, I gave a big background as to the history of the spiritual Shouter Baptist. I want people to know that the lands that would have been given in Balmain, Couva, the Council of Elders, Spiritual Shouter Baptist of Trinidad and Tobago, which is headed by Archbishop Barbara Grayburg, was not a part of that. And you would have, if you don't know or if you may not be aware, it is consistent with the fact that different arms of the spiritual Shouter community, they worship differently Some of them have certain fundamental precepts. For example, the Council of Elders Spiritual Shouter Baptists, they appoint and anoint archbishops. Others don't do it because that is exclusively for men, and therefore you will understand that there is a difference. And I had the privilege of course, being part of a delegation with Archbishop Randu the late, as well as Archbishop Barbara Gray Burke, who is current and present with us, when offer was being made by the PNM administration under Patrick Manning, the late Patrick Manning, and we were at pains to let him know that there is a dichotomy, there is a difference, and therefore it spans how we celebrate, how we worship, and therefore to have a single cathedral is a misnomer and is an injustice to the faith. I think coming out of that, it was understood that there are differences, and I want to tell people that differences doesn't mean that there is fraction or that it has brought friction, and therefore the fact of the matter is that there is, of course, unity in diversity. The fact is as well that all are Baptists, but you have the Shouter Baptists.
They were God people.
And you have, of course...
They were unique to him. He gave them specific...
Yeah, I was saying something interrupting. And you also have, of course, those who are not of the Shouter ilk, if you want to call it that, and therefore therein lies the differences. So what is common to all, however, is those very important stages of the advancement, because whatever Baptist you would have been subjected to that ordinance of 1917, and then, of course, the repealing of it in 1951. You would have been, of course, the beneficiary of that, as indeed the handing of lands and the initiation of the holiday under the Basdio Pandey UNC administration in 1996. Which, of course, gave at least 5 groups lands of 5 acres each, including, of course, what we consider to be a common area, and it is now called, of course, the Empowerment Hall, administered by the Council of Elders Spiritual Shouter Baptists, which, of course, is led by Archbishop Episcopus Barbara Gray Burke. So I thought I should give you a background because from time to time we seem not to understand because of the lack of information or education. We had, of course, Bishop Nichols here last week that gave us, of course, a perspective as to one aspect of the Spiritual Shouter Baptist evolution in Trinidad and Tobago. What is common also is the fact that it is considered to be the Mecca. In other words, no other country in the world would have had evolution of the Baptist community as we have. And therefore, what we try to do in the context of the Council of Elders is to reinforce that, so that persons would look forward to this particular holiday, and they will come from up the islands, they will come from other countries. In fact, annually, a team from the United States will come, 2 or 3 universities, in fact, to study the religion, the history of it, etc. I would normally have the opportunity as the master of ceremonies over the years to, of course, guide them and to deliver certain pieces of information. But the entire exercise of worship, and between 10 o'clock this morning and 5 o'clock this evening, people would have gotten their fill, of course, both in terms of praises, in terms of the practices, and of course, it culminates usually in the offering of food or gifts to the various, should I say, deity, if you want to call it that, but with a lot of song and shouting and dumption and all of the people catching power, as some may say, and of course, in general, it's a wonderful experience. And I would invite all and sundry. I would invite every single Trinbagonian, regardless of your spiritual preference, to just come and observe. It will be, I'm sure, a very enlightening exercise when you would have completed the entire observation that you would have made on this day, marking, of course, the 75th, as I said, anniversary of the repeal of the Shouter Baptist Prohibition Ordinance back in, of course, 1917. So that is where we are in terms of that. What to expect today? Well, as I said, all over the country in the respective churches and the respective gatherings, the celebration of today, very, very significant. And we were very pleased because the Council of Elders, the Spiritual Shouter Baptist of Trinidad and Tobago, our focus, and notice I say our focus, so I'm part and parcel of it. In fact, I'm one of the directors on the school board, and I can tell you that the St. Barbara's Primary School, which was, of course, initiated by the Basdio UNC administration, Basdio Pandey UNC administration. And prior to that, there is, of course, a early child care center as well on the lands that was given simultaneously with the holidays. Well, you would have noticed that our focus is education, and therefore education and health, in fact. And it is no surprise to us that the Honorable Prime Minister, not only we expect that she will pay a visit at the Empowerment Hall at Maloney, where we are located and centered, but also, I think, make the formal announcement with respect to the construction of a secondary school for the Spiritual Shouter Baptist community. She did make that statement in the Parliament. I noticed that the opposition, however, attempted to try to water down the statement that would have accompanied that pronouncement. And I want to say that while we ought not on this day to get involved in any politics, but the reality is that the PNM would have had since 1956 an opportunity to come out of the box first in terms of recognizing the Baptist community in its various forms, as I've indicated earlier. They had that opportunity but did not, and therefore the only significant, should I say, overture that would have been made long after the UNC under Basdio Pandey would have recognized the fraternity was in 2020, when, of course, a $20 million initiative was offered for administration and a cathedral again. But as I said earlier, there cannot be one cathedral because certain arms of the Baptist community worship differently, and therefore it is like oil and water in those circumstances. We have been at pains to get that into the heads of the administrators over the years, and the PNM continued to make that kind of folly in terms of assuming that they could do something to bring everybody together. It cannot, because they worship differently. But go ahead, Andy, you may have a question to ask me at this stage.
Why all most Baptists supports the PNM when PNM have been a bad representative for the Baptist community, but yet still the Baptist community supports the PNM party? And besides that, why are they so broken, as in poor, compared to all the rest of religions? why only cannot come together either or, besides you saying that different ways to worship and different, because everybody who had a different ways to worship come together. They come together, all right. The Jehovah Witness them have a different way, but all of them come together under one umbrella. This next the Pentecostals and them, every Pentecostal pastor them had a different way, but at the end of the day, they have been striving and handling the stories. All the Hindus and the Hindus had a different way. It's not only the Mahasabha. It have out there when it comes to celebration, it have other arms of the Hindu religion. And at the end of the day, them seeing the way and them have them. Why the Baptists just always remain poor and broken so and under the, and love PNM? I don't know, just asking.
All right. Well, I think the last part of it is very easy to answer, but let me just put you what you're saying in another perspective. Would you expect, for example, the Jehovah Witness to be very handsy-pantsy, let's say, with the Catholics or with the same Pentecostal? I'm making the point.
Right,
so there
and
will be
telling you,
that's a clear distinction. But just now, let me go with the broken part.
No, before the broken, but look at telling you there, it's two different things. Because at the end of the day, the Jehovah Witness and them still together under their faith. I'm not expecting them to go with the Pentecostal.
All right, beautiful,
they
right.
strives better than all that, anyhow.
Well, you're reinforcing the point I am making,
right,
that it's chalk and cheese. But within there, like take for instance 7 days, when the Davidian in I think it's Crash in Texas, when he burned down the place and so on, and everybody said that the world was coming to an end and so on. That's a kind of 7 days because they worship or they recognize Saturday as a day of rest, but they worship differently, and that's the point I am making. And I just did the chalk and cheese scenario or the oil and water scenario merely to emphasize that they're different. Now when coming together, all Baptists would benefit from the holiday. That's an area of unity. All Baptists. However, each one of them, depending on their force and their support and their followings and their ideology and their doctrine and their way of worshiping, will go in their respective corners, if you want to call it that.
Well, they're not respected, you know. Baptists not respected, you know. I'm telling you, you know.
Listen. But the commonality, again, what we share, all the Baptists, because you talked about why they're poor, is because nobody else, let me repeat, no other religion has been subjected to the divesting or the forceful taking away of their faith and their practice. Who is to say that if that historical blot did not occur, where the Baptist community would have been today? Who is to say that? And it is.
Yeah, but what's stopping them from doing this? All right, but what's stopping them from doing the same thing? Look, for instance, Azad Khan saying here, good morning. So each of them want 20 million. Each of them want 20 million, right? Baptists always begging. They want 20 million. Each of them want 20 million, right? All right. But look, and Ole broken, right? Baptists broken. They're broken. All. 1 minute. When PNM in power, there is deal with the Baptists and them Maloney side. When UNC in power, there is deal with Archbishop Baba Book. That's how it is go. And look, kind of saying here, we Muslims bought another piece of property last 3 weeks ago on our own. Yesterday host another community Eid celebration with our own money.
Well, if you allow me to finish, maybe you will get an appreciation as to.
So Ole will never have money to do nothing.
As to why? Because you asked the question why.
Go ahead.
and I want to say as well, whether it's for Eid, whether it's before Diwali, there is a measure of I wouldn't say dependence, but certainly acceptance and expectations that the state will make an intervention. So let's not waste time with that.
So it have the Muslims ask some money to them
the Baptist community, of course,
for the celebration. So all. So
weren't you aware of the statement made by the Minister of Culture that I think about 14 or so entities of a Muslim nature checks were distributed to them? Yeah. So that happened. So let us not waste time. I want to acknowledge, however,
but then they're still rich. They have business. They have schools. They have everything. Only have one school which is Archbishop.
So I'm coming there. Coming there. So I just told you the major impediment. None of them had that, and then of course. Because we came out of the box last, so to speak, and very, very recently, 1996 is very, very recent for any religious entity. That was not lost to the Hindus or the Muslims or the any other faith, including, of course, the Catholics and so on. So we have some catching up to do. We have some roads to cover. But certainly, when one looks at the fact that there were two schools, there is, of course, the secondary school to come. There is, of course, the whole question of a hospice that we are looking at, and that is in the context of this particular group called the Council of Elders, Spiritual Shelter of Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, you have the other group to which I think Bishop Nichols belongs to, that recently got 20, well, the total in two tranches, $20 million, and they have the administrative center.
From who? They get $20 million from who?
From the PNM, 2020, well, we had promised 20 million. They got 10 million, and then before his very ephemeral or temporary stint as prime minister, the then minister in 2025, Prime Minister then Stuart Young gave them the other 10 million. Yes. Right, okay. So
yeah, but yeah, so that said they
again,
the PNM
again, watch me.
So that said they, I just asking. So that said they them is the PNM Baptist because them get through, right? And Archbishop Baba Burke and all is UNC Baptist. So I let wait to now to try to get through from the UNC now, because that is what that is how divided all the Baptists is.
Yeah. Yeah, so from the outside, person looking in certainly will draw that conclusion. And why not? Because it is clear that the gravitation to some political entity that may be governing the country at a particular point in time, and depending on who is in office, you get the benefit. We have not yet been able to reach the stage where, of course, whether who in government benefits will be derived handsomely and fairly and so on, because I could tell you that we were contemplating taking the government to court, the PNM government to court, with respect, of course, to the embarrassing, should I say, grant that would have been given during the course of the PNM's reign between 2015 to recently. Yeah, we were that. Even though still alive, a major player that caused the holiday and advocated for the holiday is part and parcel of the Council of Elders, Spiritual Shelter, still alive, but she was, well, that entity was subjected to the greatest degree of humiliation as far as I'm concerned, simply because the other grouping may find favor with the then administration, and we're getting 300 and 400, 500 times that of what the Council of
because the other grouping is PNM. Yeah. The other grouping is deemed PNM. And not only that.
Andy, I accept that.
Well, let me ask the next question again. Let me ask the next good question again. All right, the other grouping, them organize and them end up getting through with 20 million. 10 first, and then they come and get 10 with Stuart Young.
Yeah.
All your grouping get you with a school, all you get you with holiday, millions spent. Right. Now for let them move forward. That group and all the group. How will they don't have no money to move forward? And why will they can organize and come together with all them? Because they have all these Baptists where they come together and pool the money to do something and do something for you. Build all the next school, or build all the next church, or build this or build that. Why the government have to come take all the things still?
Some students learn faster than others, and some are unfortunately slower. I just told you as to why there would be a difference in approaches because of the way that the history has evolved. Just as is it to say that all Hindu small groups are very wealthy? I would hazard a guess that that is not the case. Right, as is.
But they just find the money. They just find the money.
Right.
Do cake sale. Do without to do.
Yes, and that is happening. That has been happening. If you go to the empowerment hall, you would see that it was just land. Now there is a building. You would see, of course, a hospice is being constructed, and that has nothing to do with government. It has to do with a vision and a mission to assist and to develop our own kind within the religion. And you would see a lot of persons now who are entering professions, for example, and that is what it's all about. The education focus or thrust of the elders is to make sure we have the doctors, the lawyers, and all of the various professions, including, of course, vocational skills, manifest. But as I say, it is a human situation, and it is very recent, because if you only got a Philip in 1996, that's a short space of time. That's what, just over 40 years or thereabout. So let's take time. But clearly there is a vision, there is a direction. I just explained to you. And a fellow like me involved, you must know that that is where we are going, but it will take time, just as how the others were able, of course, to come out the box before us, because they were not subjected for 34 years to a prohibition between 1917 and 1951. 34 years. You have stymied, so you have to reconstitute, you have to share the vision again, and all of that with persons who may have institutional knowledge, institutional history, institutional know-how to start all over again. So I will not discount the Shouter Baptist or the spiritual Shouter Baptist, the Baptist community in general. And there are other Baptists, like the Hockett Baptists and those who came as a consequence of the 1812 war. The 1812 war, where you have, of course, all these Baptists near Moruga and so on, and they have well-established physical and other amenities.
I believe that you all are broken, you all are not respected, and it's not going to happen no time, because you all are very, very disunited. Because, for example, look, that part of the Baptist under the PNM was getting all kind of things. That part of the Baptist see their own Baptist brother and sister on that side ain't getting nothing. That part who are the influence over the PNM say they love God and God and God and God. And when God's supposed to be a united God, never talk for the next part of the Baptist where they don't get nothing under the PN. They don't talk for each other. Right? When your part, which is with Archbishop Baba will condemn, if that part of the Baptist get an advantage, she might talk up for them still. She might still talk for them still. But all in all, that is how, from the outside, Lennox Smith, everybody in Trinidad and Tobago they see it. Whether it's different, well, it's a best kept secret. Because all we see from the outside looking in is a Baptist faith, a Baptist people that say it have over 100 and something thousand Baptists, 200,000 Baptists, and all kind of spring up of this group and that group and that group and that group and that group, but they're real disunited. That is how we see it. Watching from the outside looking in, we just see that the Hindus united. Whether they're not, it comes across like that. Muslims too. It comes across like that. Jehovah Witness and all, this come across united too. Pentecostals, 7 Days Adventists, all of them just come across when you're from the outside looking in. This come across very united looking. The only religion that I tell you that from the outside, because I'm not a Baptist, looking in, look very disunited, and you can see they just fight each other. None can tell where none were going. And like everybody, ambitions, so ambitious that it's destroying that whole faith. It's the Baptist faith.
I disagree with you. I don't share that view. I think that there is a process of evolution. You are going to have, as I'm sure now, because it is not uncommon or is not known to the population that one element of, let's say, the Hindu community may be up in arms with another element. It may not be in so public or so conspicuous as is the case of the Baptist community. But I want to say, however, that, and I'm not making any excuse, I understand how things evolve, and eventually when all the sides reach the stage where they would have been able to say, listen, let's have a joint project in treating with a particular matter, whatever it is, a university probably, and everybody in a strong position, financial position, to say, look, I will make this contribution and so on. And then, of course, you begin the process of uniting from that perspective. But in terms of the actualization or the practice, clearly, it will never work, as is the case with the other religions. But I agree with you that they have come out of the box before us. They way advanced, but there are impediments and extenuating circumstances that would have been very, very
caused by all
and
yourself,
conspicuous why it is that the state of affairs is as what it is today.
Nice. So what we're going to do? We're going to organize and take a break, invite everyone on this Baptist holiday. They heard the conversation. I would like to know what's their thoughts. Do they agree with what it is? Because again, from the outside looking in, at the end of the day, whether the Hindus or the Muslims or whoever have problems with each other, I don't see it. I don't know. Unless I'm in it. From the outside looking in, it don't look so. But with the Baptist faith, it's totally obvious. And Foster Cummins supposed to be a Baptist too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Good.
So is the claim. Take for instance, Annie. It's only in recent times the Baptists had representation on the IRO, the Interreligious Organizations of Trinidad and Tobago, only recently, and of course I think Archbishop Burke would have been the first maybe to chair that national entity. So it's early days yet. I am convinced that at the end of the day, with vision, with perseverance, things are going to eventually work out for the Baptist community in general.
Right, but here it is, and Beulah is correct. Lennox, the Hindus, the Muslims, the Pentecostals, the 7 Days Adventists, all of them just help the people. Baptist people don't help the people.
So what do you think that school is all about? Well, I never see that. What do you think those institutions are all about? That you cannot see it? No, I think, let me be frank here. I think that is the elephant in the room. People have a perception of the Baptist community, and that conditions or colors or stains or make them myopic as to the objective issues that are before them and cannot make a conclusion. Come on, let's not waste time. What you think that school is about? The school is about Archbishop Burke children. It is about and recognizing that the Baptist community needs education, and therefore the people with the vision, the leaders and so on, have decided, of course, to take that path. And here it is, you have a secondary school, and before you sing praises and joy, because that means that we are talking about the lawyers and the doctors and all of the professions, including, of course, the vocationers that will now emerge out of those institutions. Why can't people see that? And that is why I'm saying that they come into the discussion with their own myopic views about the African community, or should I say the Baptist community in this case, not recognizing all of these pillars means that those who are practitioners, non-practitioners, are Africans, etc., will now be a beneficiary because we have our own institution. And I can prove that to you.
All right,
because
I can tell you something
is one of those institutions that recently, because it exists, was able, of course, to generate opportunities for young people because they have a certificate in their hand. Otherwise, not even Serval would have been able to give them that.
All right, well, look, I'm going to give a good example again, a very good example again. At the end of the day, them Hindus and them want to go to the Hindu schools, their parents sending them Muslims and them going to the Asras and the this and the that and whatever, and their parents sending them. How many people, parents, there's want to send over, and their own Baptists. How much Baptist parents that are in the Baptist faith sending their Baptist children to the Baptist school? Them Baptist people sending their children to the Hindu schools and Muslim schools and all them other schools still because they recognize that those schools
if what you're saying is so, Andy, if what you're saying is so, then the oversubscription of the primary school right in Maloney Day ought not to be then. If what you're saying is so, I could only say that if the school could hold 200 students and it's 200 there, I have a difficulty with what you're saying.
Okay. Here it is. Let me take that break and come back now. We have to invite people to this conversation, right?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
TNTech wants you to fly safe. While enjoying this kite flying season, remember, kites touching power lines can cause power outages. You could also be electrocuted. For safe kite flying, fly kites in open fields, away from streets, highways, power lines, electrical installations, and equipment. Use dry string, never wire. Don't remove kites that are entangled on poles or power lines. Don't fly kites in wet weather. Wet strings conduct electricity. TNTech, the power to make it work.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Today we pause to honor strength, faith, and resilience as we celebrate Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day. On this day, we recognize the journey of the Spiritual Baptist community whose right to worship was once restricted, but whose spirit could never be silenced. Their liberation in 1951 stands as a powerful reminder of perseverance, identity, and cultural pride. From all of us here at Talk City 91.1 FM, we extend heartfelt greetings to the Spiritual Baptist community and to all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. May this day inspire reflection, unity, and continued respect for the traditions that shape who we are as a people. Happy Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day.
Stay right here, but I'm catching the power. Feeling the beat and I'm catching the power.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1, bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1
FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry Lean Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
So I got right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice. Any views or opinions expressed on the Ground Report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back, we are back, we are back. On this Monday edition of the Ground Report, on this public holiday, which is known as the Spiritual Baptist Revelation Holiday. Oh boy. Well, you know, I knew it was the next thing I watch. But, let me see. I know the director is a Baptist. He hearing me talking about his faith, stating the perceptions that people have out there. Obviously, for he not to be saying anything, it had to be that he agree. Because how many people too, children running to go back to school? Then it had some points where we were hearing too that the government wasn't paying teachers on time and various little, and somehow, let me take this call before that 7 o'clock news. Go ahead, caller. I don't know. Good morning and happy Baptist holiday today to you, my brother. What's your contribution this morning on the Ground Report?
All right, I've been listening to your talk, conversation, and words. I listen where you say you're going and change your clothes and come back. And I see that you come back with the code. The yellow is the code. And you look refreshing. But one thing, Andy, it seems as though you are very young and you will know about this. Eric William was put there by the Queen and them to do their work and to continue treating people like the blacks in disdain, because in those days, the Baptists and them had no way to worship. They used to be under the gallery and business place, ringing the bell and carrying on their service and things. And there's people like Eric William and them, the PNM, that keep down the Baptist community. You understand?
But I heard the Hindu religion too used to be under cowshed and handle the stories and they go from strength to strength the same way.
Well, they separate the thing by bringing politics into it and believing that they are the only black party in Trinidad and Tobago. And that is why it takes a UNC government now to give them what they deserve and what they was fighting for since 1917 and 37 and 34 coming on the road.
Are the Baptist Faith united? Are the Baptist Faith united in your book? Do they come across united?
Well, it will have thing because all of them are together. It have separation. It have thing. You know, it have Chinese Baptists too. Chinese Baptists, they have a church in Kirap. You understand?
Where's Chinese Baptist people?
Yes, it have Chinese Baptists. I Stuart Young could be one too because yes, he had no $10 million.
Oh God, oh.
But,
I saw that
Lennox
I saw that Chinese Baptist church or group. I saw them broken. I saw their money. Man, it's 7 o'clock. Let me go for that 7 o'clock news and come back.
My friend, I'll meet you up there about 10, 15, 20. 9:15 because I have to reach up there for 10 o'clock. So I'll meet you at the place that we agreed for about 9:15. Right? So I'll leave here one time.
All right, brother. Yeah.
Okay,
Let's go for that news, man. That's very important. And then we will come back, man. Yeah. Say that Chinese Baptists, but I show them Chinese Baptists have the United and they ain't broken. That group of money.
Yeah, but they are Baptists, and you are advocating that everybody should come together. And I'm saying that here it is, you reinforcing what I just said. You have fundamental Baptists, you have Hockey Baptists, you have, of course, those that settled after the war. Let's go for the news.
Well, number 3 and Claude Noel Highway well have been fully repaired with all works completed. WASA says its operations team has been working tirelessly since Sunday morning to complete repairs and restore service in the shortest possible time. The authority adds that work at Bloody Bay well number 1 is nearing completion and it is awaiting water quality test results from the Bloody Bay tank before the system can be safely returned to full service. Meanwhile, an investigation is ongoing into the vandalism of 4 WASA wells on the island. This was confirmed by Chief Secretary in the Tobago House of Assembly, Farley Augustine, during a media conference yesterday. He noted that additional security measures are being implemented at critical water infrastructure sites. In some other news, re-elected president of the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association, Alan Ferguson, says several changes are coming for the association. He made the statements during its annual general meeting on Saturday. Among the changes is the name of the association to the Trinidad and Tobago Metal Recyclers Association. Mr. Ferguson told his members that the aim is to start recycling paper, plastics, old tires, fabrics and oil, food and other items. In some news of sport now, the Trinidad and Tobago senior men's national team is currently seeking to bounce back as they face Gabon in their second match of the FIFA series today. TNT is aiming to rebound from their 4-1 defeat to Venezuela in the opening fixture. Gabon is also entered the contest seeking improvement after a 3-1 loss to hosts Uzbekistan. Interim head coach Derek King said the team has taken valuable lessons from their first outing, adding that there were some very good moments, especially in the first 60 minutes when they were organized, disciplined, and showed real bravery in their play. Taking a look at today's weather forecast for the period today until tonight, Trinidad and Tobago will experience a generally fair morning. However, a few brief showers are expected from late morning into early afternoon, with a low chance for a moderate to heavy shower developing mainly near hilly areas or southwest Trinidad. Seas are moderate with waves up to 1.5 meters in open water and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. The current temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. And that was your TTT News Update. I am Ria Rupchansing. Do have a good morning and a happy Shouter Baptist Spiritual Liberation Day.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM. Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT. Today we pause to honor strength, faith, and resilience as we celebrate Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day. On this day, we recognize the journey of the Spiritual Baptist community whose right to worship was once restricted, but whose spirit could never be silenced. Their liberation in 1951 stands as a powerful reminder of perseverance, identity, and cultural pride. From all of us here at Talk City 91.1 FM, we extend heartfelt greetings to the Spiritual Baptist community and to all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. May this day inspire reflection, unity, and continued respect for the traditions that shape who we are as a people. Happy Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
We are back. Time check. It's about 6 minutes past the hour. 6 minutes past 7. And you're listening to the Ground Report. So what we're going to do is just take some calls.
Hello?
Before we go into some other burning topics here. Morning, caller. Where you calling from? What's your contribution on the Ground Report?
Morning, Andy. Morning, William. How are you doing? Happy Baptist. Happy Baptist Day.
Yeah.
I'll let up. Hey, Andy, when I grew up, I went to those Southern Baptists. I was a little boy, 4 or 5 years old. I used to go to those Southern Baptists. There was a family of people that I used to go to, man. I love it, man. I love the Southern Baptists. I was a little young boy, 5, 6 years old. But anyhow, we don't have Southern Baptists here, but we have the Baptist Church. My wife is Catholic, and I'm a Hindu. And I went to the Catholic Church a couple of times, and I hated it because they are very prejudiced. So I stopped going and I started to go to the Baptist Church. But I enjoy the Baptist Church. I really do enjoy the Baptist singing, and oh man, we love it. Me, my son, and my wife, we love the Baptist Church. But one of the biggest Baptist churches where I live by in Orlando, a huge, big Baptist church where Bill Clinton and them come and go to. Bill Clinton is a Baptist. He goes to the Baptist church all the time.
Who is that?
Who? Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton.
He's a Baptist.
Yeah, President Bill Clinton. He goes to the Baptist church all the time. That man is a boy when he can come. That's not. Let me tell you something. In my time living in America, the best president I ever see is Bill Clinton. True or facts, the best I ever see is Bill Clinton. And he's the oldest man in this in my time living in America. Balance the budget. Balance the budget, put money in the treasury plus. And after that, president come after him, all went down. $33 trillion in debt right now. But that's the best man. I love, as I said, I love the Baptists, but we don't have Southern Baptists here. We just have
all
Baptists.
And all the Baptists and them out there well united. That's good.
Boy, I'm going to tell you something. When you go to the Baptist church, my brother, it's full.
What about the Baptists in Trinidad? So what happened to the Baptists?
I don't know much about it. But my wife used to go to the regular Baptist speaker in Trinidad. She used to go with her neighbor was a Baptist preacher, so she used to go to the church. But I've been to a couple of shoulder Baptists. But I never really go because you're growing up in Trinidad, you need to go to Hindi things, But I went to a couple of shoulder Baptists when I was growing up. But I went to the mosque, I went to, temple, I went to everything. I've been to almost everything except the Baptist church. But I went to the Shouter Baptist when I was with them. But I don't know why they don't unite. Because up here they are huge, bro. They are huge. I'm telling you, you see the massive church. The Orlando Baptist Church.
And everybody group out. And everybody group out dressed like how in Trinidad, but yet still they seen the way away there. Compared to here.
No, they don't group out everybody together. They unite, man. And Baptist Church, they unite. I'm telling you, and Houston, one of the best hospitals in Orlando, in Boston, where I go to school in college in Boston for 16, 17 years. I live up there. One of the best hospitals is the Baptist Hospital.
We call them different.
And the next hospital was which I've been to. My mom did a triple bypass in the hospital. It's the Jewish hospital, some of the best hospitals in Boston, best. But they unite. I don't know why people just fight down religion in the world, man. I hate when people fight about people's religion. Everybody should love each other religion. Listen, some of my best friends are black people, Muslim. My best friend right now here, that Muslim, he doesn't worry about religion. He'll come and here, he invite me for Eid. He say, I don't celebrate Eid. I say, oh, dear, we get someone from here. But Adi, they are together. And we should be together. Forget religion, man. Religion is only man-made. My dad told me that. Forget religion. Just be yourself and enjoy yourself and you'll be all right. Later, Andy.
All right. We have some more calls, so let me just get them there quick. Go ahead, caller. Morning. Happy holidays. See you. What's your contribution on the Gong Report this morning?
Blessed morning, Mikey, Lennox, and the Pitbull of Radio. Happy Baptist Day. And they are no bell, they can ring a bell for me there.
Oh, you want me ring a bell?
And he was talking about the Baptist faith is one of the most broken faith. But the PNM run this country for donkeys and literally they're saying this, quote unquote, they're saying there's a black party. What they give the Baptist community? Then the Honorable Bazio Pan, give them a piece of land. And they solidarity. Who give them the solidarity? Not Bazio Pan, And the Honorable Prime Minister give them a piece of land with Baba Bukala School, some in a room up on that side of there. And she legend to give them a piece of land to build a high school. So and they just at Bale, we go take it lightly because we celebrating the Baptist community. Because right now my girl, she's strong in the Baptist faith. So she going out there and ring some bell and still we're going on with the Baptist. And I like the color you have on this morning and the yellow man. Yellow is the code. But and I hear the Honorable Prime Minister in the Parliament, she make her speech. You know, like she a realist and she see what she had to say in the Parliament. You know, that what she's trying to say. Look, no matter what they call she, they can call she this, they can call she that. She's an Indian lady. She represents she people and them. And that's what we have to do. We have to be proud of who we is and try to help with black brothers and sisters at the end of the day. Because you see them coming here and all the plan them, you know. As a black man or something, he feel better than the next black man looking to spit on him and not try to uplift him and try to help him out. Something wrong with we people and them. So Lennox, when they go to church this morning and ringing a bell, don't forget the black brothers and sisters out there who crying out in the wilderness. Bless.
I certainly will not. We have some calls on this side as well. Good morning. Good morning. What's him? Go ahead. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, Andy. Good morning. Good morning, Lennox.
Good morning.
And good morning to all your team. I want to send a shout out to the Baptist community. Happy Liberation Day. And God, I want to congratulate the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is a boss. The Prime Minister has vision to that. Just can imagine seeing Parliament and see make a statement concerning the secondary school for the Baptist community. Boy, man, that brings a real care about education in this country, boy. This thing, you born in a religious function to talk politics and talk about Google and all kind of things. The guys have this place and it's a place to talk and not to talk. Kenny and them sick. Have a blessed morning.
Okay, thank you very much. And then I also seen you online here, which I believe, which is Anthony. Anthony Ford is saying that Andy, politics is the division between the Baptist religion here. Sad, but that's a reality. So the Baptists here in Trinidad is not united. Hopefully they will catch itself, but politics, just like how politics mash up Calypso.
We have a caller, Andy.
Go ahead.
Welcome, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Lennox.
Yes, good morning. Yeah.
And good morning to Mr. Andy Williams and Mikey. I listen to your program every morning. Mr. Lennox, you know me. But I want to ask you a question. I'm in my late 90s. And I have heard all names called in the Baptist religion, Outer Baptist religion, but I have never heard the taffy being mentioned. I want to know why. because I know he had a church in Laventille Hills.
Whose name? Whose name you have not heard?
Beg your pardon?
Whose name you have not heard?
Taffy was the leader of the Shota Baptist. I told you I'm in my late 90s.
Yes, okay.
And Taffy had a church on Laventille by where Auntie Clarice Horner is there.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never heard his name mentioned. Taffy, I remember police used to raid him at corners.
Yeah.
So can you tell me something why he is not
Did you say
mentioned
the police
at
used to
all?
raid him? Raid the church?
Yeah,
Raid him when
because
they
if
preach
she's
on
in
the
the
road.
90s, then she would have been close to when things were not as nice for the Baptist community to worship. Well, I don't know, but I'm sure that if we do as a prudent investigation, I'm sure people from around that specific community may well be, but I don't know, and I've not heard that name, regularly mentioned, like Mother Clarice and a number of other what I consider be stalwarts. So,
He had
but
a
thank you
church
for
on
bringing
the
that to the fore.
Laventille by where Auntie Clarice is there.
Okay.
You
All
had a
right.
church where?
I will do some investigation.
And I will speak to you later on. You
Okay,
know
then.
who I am.
Yes.
You need a connection.
Yes.
All right.
So.
Wow. Wow. Let's continue. I'm seeing here, Trinidad and Tobago, what's on your front burner? Don't forget, let us know. What's on your front burner? What's about to make news that you believe not making news? Right? I saw here on this front burner, on this here, I'm going to give all it there. All right, let me make sure I give all it. Very interesting. Right, look at here. So very, very, very interesting. Right. CCN TV6, Trinidad and Tobago, 1 day ago. Multiple sources close to Guerra, along with senior police officers, familiar with the investigations, confirmed to the Sunday Express last week that the killing bore all the hallmarks of a paid hit. Investigators are now zeroing in on what they believe is a key motive of a bitter fallout over the land purchase, over a land purchase. Betrayed and targeted, that's the headliners they know. Associates linked to $600,000 Guerra hit. What's your thoughts, Lennox? Maybe I could read in template.
Yeah, I read it. I read it, and of course, it's a $21 million land deal that is being alleged. He might have absconded, for want of a better term, but he outsmarted, in other words, somebody. And of course, they are saying that that's somebody that was outsmarted. Decided, of course, to put a hit of to the point of $600,000, and that caused the demise of Mr. Guerra, the late Guerra. Of course, there are two other what I consider to be conspiracies. Yeah, two other conspiracies. One, the other two relates to something from inside the prison, and then there's another one with respect to some family dispute, but of a business nature. Another person that might have been outsmarted, to use a local colloquial expression.
Hold on.
Hold
on, because that land.
So these conspiracies are coming. But we said we'd wait for when all these things arrive so that we can make a conclusion. But what we realize now, generally, is about some business deal that went sour.
Because I know the land. You all know that land. That the grade down there on the Toko Main Road, there on the left hand side, if you're going to Toko, to build commercial hub and apartments and all them. But listen, let me just play this.
In the back, yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
A bitter fallout over a $21 million land deal is said to have led to a $600,000 contract to execute businessman Danny Guerra. Guerra, 50, was gunned down on March 13th outside his DG Homes office in Sangre Grande. At the heart of the hit is a disputed parcel of land near Perry Junction, just beyond a sawmill along the Toco Main Road, Sangre Grande. Sources say the vision was clear: commercial development in the front, residential housing to the rear. The deal was brokered by one man, financed by Guerra, and ultimately taken over by him without consultation. That decision may have set everything in motion. He handled everything behind the man's back and cut him out completely, one source said. From that point, it was war. Multiple sources close to Guerra, along with senior police officials familiar with the investigation, confirmed to the Sunday Express last week that the killing bore all the hallmarks of a paid hit. Investigators are now zeroing in on what they believe is a key motive: a bitter fallout over the land purchase. According to individuals with direct knowledge of the transaction, the deal was initially brokered by one of Guerra's business associates. However, tensions escalated after Guerra allegedly took full control of the acquisition. It appeared that Danny paid for the land and then moved ahead without him. Guerra's business associate cleared it, started development, and completely cut him out, one source said, speaking on condition of anonymity. After that, everything went left. It became war. Investigators believe the disgruntled associate, said to have had detailed knowledge of Guerra's daily movements, may have played a critical role in facilitating the hit by providing intelligence to the gunman. The attackers are believed to have tracked Guerra's movements for several days before carrying out the hit. On the morning of his death, sources say Guerra had earlier traveled to Port of Spain, where he visited the U.S. Embassy, either to apply for or collect a visa before returning to Sangre Grande. He had plans to leave the country, and certain people knew that, a source said. When he got back to Sangre Grande, he switched vehicles, something he had been doing regularly since his release from detention under the Sioux. The car he was in when he was killed belonged to a worker. Contacted for confirmation on whether Guerra had visited the U.S. Embassy in Port of Spain, a spokesperson at the embassy said U.S. visa information is confidential. Gang connection? After the fallout over the land deal, investigators believe the aggrieved associate may have enlisted the services of a known member of the Anybody Gets It, ABG, gang based in Valencia. That individual is believed to have been the first to exit the Tita and open fire on Guerra, a police source said. Authorities have withheld the suspect's alias due to the ongoing investigation. Intelligence sources also theorized that the killing may have served a dual purpose. Guerra was believed to have financed elements of the resistance gang in Sangre Grande and had close family ties to the group. The ABG gang, long at odds with their rivals, may have seized the opportunity to eliminate him. The gangs have been in conflict for some time, a senior officer explained. Removing Guerra not only settles a personal dispute but weakens a network tied to their enemies. Plans for the disputed property reportedly included a large commercial complex along the front of the Toco Main Road, with housing earmarked for the rear. While investigators are pursuing several other possible motives, police sources say these are increasingly being viewed as distractions. Among them is an earlier dispute involving a man known to police from South Trinidad, whose excavator was destroyed following a heated confrontation with Guerra. Although speculation linked Guerra to the incident, investigators say that has gained little traction. Another line of inquiry suggested the hit.
And then I will go now. It have other line of inquiry suggested that the hit may have been orchestrated from within the prison walls. Sources claim Guerra had previously paid $1 million to an associate of a known murder accused, with whom he had business ties. When further demands for money when allegedly refused, tensions escalate. So when further demand for money,
that was the prison link and that I referred to earlier. Yeah. So so it's about three different, what I consider the trifurcated reasons for the outcome. I suppose the investigators will have to pursue all of them and to see which one of them, by process of elimination.
Why I went through this is to say, well, this have nothing to do with Sandy Grande and politics and supporting UNC and This has nothing to do with because people was alleging to that hit is government killing and all them kind of thing. And
in fact, the article referred to that, but said that that one has been eliminated, that it could not have been politically aligned. So yes, you are quite right. But the article did exonerate the political aspect and possibility, because it will be for those who believe that they couldn't get political mileage off of that aspect of it. The opposition, more specifically, they would want to focus there and hopefully manufacture as much as they can because of their, what I consider to be very fertile imaginations, to give the impression that they are politically viable.
Right, but when you was watching, when this whole thing happened and start happening, all over social media, all over Trinidad and Tobago, most people believe that that was a political hit.
Yeah. No, you're quite right. And so it is nice to see, but, we on the ground report, we are always very skeptical and meticulous, and will wait where there is blurriness. We will wait for evidence to emerge, and we are seeing that unfolding before our very eyes now.
Right.
So therefore, and we have eliminated, of course, that aspect of it, which would have been, the focal point would have been the apex of those who have that agenda. They would be focusing there, but of course we see that now has to be eliminated as quickly as possible.
Yes,
go ahead.
Still down to PNM and all was pushing it in that type of direction. Anyhow, online here on YouTube.
There was a call for the minister, even for the minister of one of the ministers of still Wayne Sturge, to resign because he said they called it, of course, he's the product of a poison fruit. Something of that nature.
Look, Deep Study is asking, Andy, ask Orlando if Bill Clinton had a jersey like you and Lennox Smith, laugh out loud. So meaning if Bill Clinton ever wear anything like us to symbolize
a dashiki type wear?
Yeah.
Well, whether he had it on or not, it is not about the wear, but it is about your heart.
Look at the kind of question he asking. If Bill Clinton ever wear with me and Lennox wear, yes, and Bill Clinton is about
your heart. Yeah, it's about what is in your head. It's what the intention is. All right. So not necessarily. Some people do it externally, and some people, of course, do it internally. Whichever way is a valid way, and you can't vex with people for that. That's their choice.
That's their choice. Nice. I want to organize to go into the papers here again. Oh boy, what other headliners that we have here? Come on, I'm getting it here. But we had to throw out some of those things here to invite people into conversation. Not everyone wants to talk about the.
We are 1 minute away from the break. So
yeah,
see if we get your act together.
Yep. It's coming together. Oh boy. We are also seeing here. Okay then. The THA is saying, THA condemns the sabotage of Tobago water system, saying it's domestic terrorism. What says the one that Lennox Smith? Did you organize and read up on that?
Yeah, I did. Of course, the chief secretary is claiming that it is domestic terrorism. Yes, of course. Three facilities, three water producing facilities in Tobago was sabotaged, was vandalized. Well, I wouldn't say vandalized. I don't think that would be a soft word, but of course, was sabotaged, and And he is saying that that is untenable, that is unacceptable, and therefore an intensive investigation will take place. Of course, they have deployed security, extra security at these facilities to make sure, because I think quite a large section of the Tobago population is now without, well, I would assume a pipe-borne supply of water as a consequence of that action. And of course, he has made it very, very clear that this is domestic terrorism at its worst. So that's where we are.
Oh boy. Dave Tanku is saying, well, over here when we don't read that too, Dave Tanku, the finance minister is saying it will take time, says Tanku. Promises the solution to VAT refunds issue. So real people having VAT refunds issue, real issues. And he is saying that it will just take time. Have you bounced up many people?
Yeah, well, where there is a cash flow issue, clearly that is the consequence. So that's one of the consequences. I would want to, of course, link that to the go slow of nurses in the various health institutions over the weekend in particular. I think it's very, very unfortunate. As you know, they are considered to be essential, part of the essential service, and they therefore ought not to engage in what is considered to be labor dispute over money. But in this case is about overtime and the reduction from $70 an hour to $60 an hour, and less in a system called pooling, where nurses work overtime, and therefore that is triggered when they work beyond the maybe 8 hours, as the case may be. And of course, in the fine line is Dr. Tim Gopi Singh. There seem to be a word of war between him and the head of the Nursing Association. And we had our own views as to that Nursing Association head in terms of his conduct just before the 2025 general elections, when, of course, they accepted that 5% that the then government offered. And we see that, of course, he is at the forefront of engaging. In fact, he said that he will be or has made a report to the police, being threatened by Tim Gopi Singh. But of course, Tim Gopi Singh responded, of course, a man that is fearless in my view, very, very firm, very sensitive. His integrity cannot be questioned. We have seen that over and over in whatever capacity he would have served in the past. So in this capacity, no difference. And he's saying that he's a coward. Tim Gopi Singh has responded by saying that the head of that organization is a coward, and therefore he's talking things that clearly is not nestled in reality. So so that continues, but the teachers say, I think by April, I think sometime in April, in the middle of April, if that matter is not resolved, including, of course, the resignation of Tim Gopi Singh as head of the North Central Regional Health Authority, they will intensify their actions. So let's see how that pans out.
Oh boy, and they say Carl seeks new government bailout, fuel surcharge on tickets, removal of inter-island air bridge subsidies also under consideration by finance minister. How manage Carl busing? How manage our airport? Or how are airline buses? How?
Well, we have seen it. It is before us. They are now claiming that the increase in fuel has caused an increase in expenditure, and having had unprofitable routes, so to speak, has compounded the problem. But what they're asking for fuel subsidy one, and the removing of subsidies on the air bridge. So what are they saying? That much a person would pay to fly between Trinidad and Tobago now, and if they want the removal, what cost we are looking at. They want to grind the entire place to a halt. I don't know, but that is one of the considerations and the possibilities. So let's see how that pans out as well. We have to go for the break, of course.
Right after this
Yeah.
call. Right after this call.
Yeah.
Go
Okay,
ahead, caller. Caller's in line here. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning to the Magnificent Tree.
Yes, good morning to you. What's on your front burner this morning?
I want to give a touch on three little things, right? What all the talking about. First of all, I'm going to talk about the gravel, right? Now, it's about 20 years ago, I was driving truck. And we used to work with Mr. Guerra. We used to work with our next one named Andy. We used to work with our next one named Leo. We used to work with our next one named Hola. And other people then. But since I work in there, I know that people digging Patreon illegally. Because I knew that they had no mining license. Some of them had license just to clean it up, but not to dig, right? And those days we used to buy Patreon for $100 a load, right? And people from all south, them hire to dig the material illegally. It's so Guerra and them start from nothing, right? And I'm talking about 20 years ago, right? And it's not only Guerra get killed who was mining gravel. The same fella what I tell you about Andy, he get killed. But that was in PNM time. And he had our next Indian fella who, I can't remember his name, but his father's name too. He and all come and get killed, right? So Guerra now is the third man that I know get killed in mining this gravel illegally, right? But why they say now is the UNC, is an election thing, right? Because she said, like Penny Beckles, that they have to win the local election, right? And they're trying to win back 0.14 So you see, it's just a matter of just seeing the UNC do this, and the UNC did that because they on an election campaign. We must understand that, right? The other thing about the Baptist thing, I used to live in Fishing Pond in a road named River Road, right? And my sister went in the Baptist faith, right? I am a Roman Catholic, and I used to stay by her with a man named Mr. Lewis. She went on mourning ground and all kind of thing, right? That's why I give all the little hit. When I tell all, I know the hit, what come, Kiki, Kiki, come, Kiki, Kiki. Remember I tell you that, Andy? Yeah. I learned that hit from that time when we used to be in Baptist church. And they used to keep all kind of Thanksgiving and thing and with animal and thing. We used to eat and thing in the church, right? So it wasn't something nice. But I'm going to tell you the next thing. I hear a Baptist leader say, we will take from them, but our heart is with the PNM, right? And I remember Barbara Brook scold him on that. If you talk to she will tell you that because she she will never say something like that because she is for Kamala, because it is Kamala who giving them thing. And even she talk about the holiday that Bastard Pandey give them, right? So these are the things that happening right in front of the eye, and people doesn't want to talk about it. But the PNM only want to call out the UNC on every little thing. If a Scarlet Ibis, that right now is the UNC killer Ibis. It's so they want to just blame UNC for everything because them on election footing. You have to understand that the fighting we done bad. But one day, we will prevail. PNM no more. Right. I have much to say again.
All right, thank you. We go for that break and come back. When we come back, more underground report when we come back. Let's get on into some other issues and things too. Go ahead, Snipey.
It's Pizza
payday at Mario's.
One day only, Monday, March 30th. Buy one family specialty pizza, get one free.
Choose your favorites: tropical chicken, pizza, or garden delight.
That's 2 large family specialty pizzas for just $150.
Dine in, pick up, or get it delivered straight to your door.
Call 225-KING, download the My Mario's app, or order online at mymarios.com. Mario's Pizza, just the way you like it.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
Today we pause to honor strength, faith, and resilience as we celebrate Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day. On this day, we recognize the journey of the Spiritual Baptist community whose right to worship was once restricted, but whose spirit could never be silenced. Their liberation in 1951 stands as a powerful reminder of perseverance, identity, and cultural pride. From all of us here at Talk City 91.1 FM, we extend heartfelt greetings to the Spiritual Baptist community and to all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. May this day inspire reflection, unity, and continued respect for the traditions that shape who we are as a people. Happy Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day.
Stay right here, but I'm catching the power. Feeling the beat and I'm catching the power.
It's pizza payday at Mario's.
One day only, Monday, March 30th. Buy one family specialty pizza, get one free.
Choose your favorites: tropical chicken, pizza, or garden delight.
That's 2 large family specialty pizzas for just $150.
Dine in, pick up, or get it delivered straight to your door.
Call 225-KING, download the My Mario's app, or order online at mymarios.com. Mario's Pizza,
Voices you
just
know,
the way you like it.
respect of the very best in talk. Talk City 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the ground report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Yes, Lennox, what else making the news that you know?
I'd love to focus a little bit on the Baptist holiday, because I think on the Ground Report we give people a perspective that usually will not be generally witnessed or people will have access to. What I'm talking about is that here it is in 1917, the Prohibition Act was implemented, right? But that would have been 1 year before the end of the First World War. First World War, 1914 to 1918. So and it was in fact around November. So it means the following month would have been what? Christmas, not so? Yeah. So I want people to put it in perspective and how the practitioners would have felt, not having Christmas time being a very time when people are very religious, and of course the coming, whilst it may have elements of the African, let's say, heritage, but certainly generally in the country, wartime, Christmas is ahead, And here it is, I think the 24th of November, this act was implemented, banning these people from practicing their worship. Why it's everybody else? And indeed, I want to say as well that the established religion, just how the established religion was in cahoots with the colonial people, the colonial masters, to conspire against the practice of the Shouter Baptist community at that time.
Right, so we learned two things there. Hold on, because we had to take the calls as they come in. Go ahead, caller. Person, good morning to you. Go ahead, caller. Good morning. Caller, good morning to you. Now, next caller then. Good morning, caller. Go ahead, caller.
Pleasant morning. A pleasant morning.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Pleasant morning.
Mr. Andy Williams, to Lennox Smith, the Englishman, and Mr. Snipes. A blessed morning. Lennox, Andy, and Snipes. Can I ask a controversial question, please? But I'd like to stay on the line after I ask the question. Can I?
Yeah, no problem.
By all means.
Thank you. It's controversial, but it's good. But I'll stay on the line because after you all respond to me, I will want to say something. This is the question. Do you all believe the time has come to take all religious holiday and put one day for it? Let me repeat the question. Do you all believe the time has come that we take one day and put all religious holiday on that one day? I remain on the line because I will want to respond.
Right. I believe, yes, one day for all religious holidays should be implemented, because my belief is the fact of everybody having a holiday is where help the cause of the division in religion in this country.
Thank you. Lennox, what's your say?
Well, while I appreciate the idea, I don't think it is practical, because people are going to say that this is my day, and why must I share it? But of course, they can see it in their own little cocoon, so to speak, and
but nobody lost in the
question. Just now, the question of the cosmopolitan nature, where I can share the other person's perspective and sharing their efforts or their culture will be lost, because remember, everybody will be in their own little corner. Whereas let's take, for instance, on a Hindu holiday, all of us could share. When, of course, in this case, the Baptist holiday, everybody could share. But of course, in what you're suggesting, it means therefore everybody will be in their respective corners and possibly not appreciating the other person's perspective.
Snipe is there. What is his take on it?
No comments.
Hello?
I'm sure it's going to be no comments. Snipes. Director, where's your comment? Abstain?
For all,
all right, all religion. Let me go where I want to go now.
One day.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that, because every religious persuasion or people would have their history, and they would have gone through certain things, and they would like to commemorate that day in any country that they live in. So I can't subscribe to that.
All right, but then
can I respond now?
Wait. But then I just want to respond on just one thing. At the end of the day, if it's one holiday for all the religions to celebrate their day, how that taken away in my book? Any religion from getting maximum out of the religion. The Catholic do the thing, the Muslim do the thing. I not seeing nobody losing nothing. But you go ahead.
And that's why we live in a special place. Trinidad and Tobago is a very special place.
Can I come back in here now?
Yeah, let me hear.
Go quite ahead, my friend. Mm-hmm.
Right. If all the religious group is praying to the one almighty God, and everybody is claiming all streams lead to the ocean, and if we're saying it's the creator and it's a spiritual day, and I agree with Andy, why not one day? Because you're saying, and let me tell you, you know what this will do? This will surely show where we could come together with faith And this here can even send a message to the criminal world, everybody. But I will say this respectively. I have to go there. Let me ask. Andy, like you're reading my mind. So, thank you.
Go ahead.
So, after all the days, I want to ask, very respectively, is this stopping crime, killing by tomorrow? And that's the billion-dollar question. And I'm saying, perhaps if we come together in unison and respect all the religious groups, I'm not disrespecting, but we're having a profound discussion. And what a day to have it. And I'm saying here, how after the holiday or tomorrow, is these religious groups, the 6, 7, 9 criminal, bandit, drugs, gun running, are we seeing the next day after all these days that crime and criminality is going to come to an end? You know what is my suggestion? Perhaps if everybody come together in one and we say, okay, you is Hindu, you is Muslim, you is Catholic, you is this, but in the name of the Almighty God, we come together. That's my opinion, very respectively. But Andy, I like where you're going, and I think you understand why I was going with this. It's open in the air for discussion, but I firmly believe if you're saying creator...
No, but what you have to do is clean up yourself based on all religions come together, meaning Hindu, no, because people might be misunderstanding what you're saying. Eh? I want to believe that you're saying that all religions must celebrate their religion on the same day, and the part where you go with after holidays, how we still seeing crime, or how we still seeing this, or how we still seeing that.
Correct.
Right? Which means with all that celebration, however it go, the religious organizations them not playing a critical role, and it's in society, and it's not about because religion is supposed to help govern a society too. You understand?
Thank you.
And mold a society. And they're not playing a role. And their celebrations, it's just about going and talking the same thing over and over and over about what we know.
Nothing to help. Because let's face it, it's not to say that I am beating up on any religious group. But come on, we live in the real world, and sometimes, let me say this, sometimes we have to go into things, we have to question it. We live in an age, we got to question. We're not living in the Stone Age.
Can I pose a question to you, caller?
Of course, I'm Tabakit. I want you to do. We're having a nice discussion. Do it.
Tabakit, what is the role and function that the religion plays when it comes to crime?
Thank you. The role it plays is bringing the spiritual aspect and morality and shaping the mind to tell you, look, this is the Creator would have left his commandment. And if we cannot obey God's commandment, then we cannot obey the commandment on earth. And I believe this is where that it's supposed to be to point you in that area to understand that your conscience is your guide. And I'm bringing it very open so that everyone can understand where I'm going. Now, 1 minute. Go ahead.
You can stick a pin there. Are you aware of any religion that does not do that?
Well, again, you want to, it's a catch-21, 22. And where you're putting me, I will
it's a direct question.
No, but allow me to answer. You can't ask me a question and want to answer it. Then you defeated the purpose.
I'm not trying to answer it. I'm telling you it's a direct question. That's all. Full stop.
Well, the direct question to that, my brother, I live right here on planet Earth in Trinidad and Tobago. I will be real with you. I am not seeing, very respectively, I am not seeing at this time it's lending to crime and criminality because it's gone unabated. That's my answer to you. I'm right here. I could respond again, whatever you want to.
You did not answer my question. I asked
Could you repeat the question if I would have lost it a bit?
I ask you if you are aware of any religion that does not do what you just said.
Well, let me say this. In respect to you, while you're doing it, the big question, all right, let's say for argument's sake, yes, they're doing it, but the question is whether or not if it's having any impact. This is the thing. Doing it, and no, 1 minute, you're doing it, but whether or not if it's having any impact, and the answer to that is no, because after today and tomorrow is the same, all same. So I am saying we must find a place to understand, is this religious holiday really serving its purpose? Well, I tabak very respectively, and I'm speaking across the board. No, it is not helping our society and the system. It is not.
All right, Tabakit, we will take our next caller, and I'm happy that I am happy that I have been a devil's advocate on that. Although I believe that
I'm happy that you said that, because the questions were now going to come in your direction, Andy.
No, well, you can ask but I was being a devil advocate.
And sometimes that's why I stay quiet, because my line of questioning would just go straight to the fact. As a matter of fact, this morning I wanted to weigh in on some of the things that you were saying, but I understand that you were shaping the show, so I stayed quiet.
No, well, I want you to answer some of the things that I was saying. I would love. Let me take this call here.
No, but
let me take this call here. Morning.
Yeah. Oh, you have a call. Go ahead, caller.
Oh, good morning. This is Granny.
Yes, good morning.
I tell you, you look so good. So great. You and Lennox Smith look so good in all your outfit. Real good and great. Yeah. And I want to tell all you, I grew close to the Baptist neighbor. We had Baptist neighbors. We is plant-based people, strict vegetarians. No egg, no fish. We neighbors and them were Baptists, some of them. And we grow with them, nice people. And the Catholic, we used to go with them up Mount St. Benedict. I went to a Presbyterian school. The Anglican church wasn't far from me. The Seventh-day Adventist wasn't far. So I go among all of them. I appreciate all of them. I can't criticize none of them. But the Baptist faith have a lot of what I, as a Hindu, have. They use the tari, they use the lota. It has time where they do the Hindu thing. But the Hindu said they only use vegetables. And the Catholic religion have a lot to mine too. But I go in all of them, and I appreciate the Baptist religion and the Baptist people. All they look good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me take this next call. Go on, caller. Good morning.
Andy Orlando here. Andy, one of the callers asked me if built it. No, they don't. We know where those goes, but that don't mean to say you're not a Baptist. Let me tell you something. I don't see Hindu people up here wearing dhoti and going to temple. True. I don't see Muslim people wearing the big mask and all covering their face going to mosque. So that guy is a PNM education guy. He don't understand. You don't have to wear the wear to be the religion or the person you are. That was foolish. You have to.
Yes. The heart is the heart of the mind. Yes.
Yes. You want to wear dhoti like me. I should wear dhoti going all to work, going here to tell everybody that he do. That was so dumb. That's so stupid. I mean, the guy that didn't come to ask that question on radio or whatever it is, he got to be a real PNM education person. And next thing I get, Tabakit is right. No, but Tabakit is right. And
Tabakit is right.
We don't get. Yeah, and we don't get a holiday up here for our Hindu religion or Muslim religion. There's one, you take that on your own. If you're a Muslim, you take the day off. You get the day off. You get a Hindu, you get the day off. Company dependent on the company you work for.
I'm really happy that this caller said that.
The problem is, over here, this country believes they are a Catholic country, but they are not a Catholic country, America. America is a multicultural country like Trinidad. But the head that make believe that this is a Catholic country or a Christian country, but it's not. You see, but we live in a country. We have to follow the society, follow the people, but it's not. But it comes now to realize the people who just call this radio station and call again, like a guy called Foreign News that's call the other station. We need to do something. The White House right now, they recognize in the last couple of years, President, recognize the Hindu religion more than everybody because they celebrate Diwali in the White House. Because there's a lot of members who represent the government group, they are Hindus, a lot of them. So now they start to recognize it, and hopefully the Muslim people will change their attitude, not in America, but in overseas. And they will start recognizing and to just, they recognize the Baptists. They do, but they don't get a holiday.
Right.
They take it themselves.
I'm glad that you mentioned that too. Although I was trying to be a devil's advocate, it was in that line Andy Williams was speaking about what you talk about there. Here it is. You ain't take away nothing from nobody. Give one holiday to everybody.
Everybody. But I think, I believe the black people have a holiday right now. They call it Juneteenth. My wife do get that. June 19th, I believe it or not. Juneteenth, they call it. My wife do get a holiday because she works for a law firm. So she do get a holiday Juneteenth. I don't get it. Okay? I don't get that holiday. But my wife's company get it. Juneteenth. Those are the black people for slavery. And I think also there's a holiday Baptist. I can't recall what it is. But they do. But like Hindu and Muslim, we take our day off. It's not a problem. We take it off. We celebrate it because there's nothing. If we get a holiday Muslim holiday or a Hindu holiday, the Muslim will come to your house. It's the Hindu who will celebrate and then we invite the people to come over. I say the Hindu should be the Hindu have taken a day off and invite the people to come over. We don't get 1 day is enough. We give 3 or 4 or 5 days.
Everybody. And let everybody celebrate the thing.
We're heading for the news.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, later. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much.
King was crushed in the vehicle and succumbed to his injuries at the scene. He had to be cut out of the wreckage. Francois and the occupants of the pickup were critically injured and taken for medical treatment. 10 Venezuelan nationals were arrested for entering the country illegally on Sunday. Officers of the Port of Spain Division coordinated operations at 2 establishments in Port of Spain and St. James, suspected of facilitating illicit activities. Immigration officers interviewed several foreign nationals, resulting in the arrest of 8 males and 2 females. The TTPS says all exercises were conducted without incident and were coordinated and supervised by senior officers, including Deputy Commissioner Suzette Martin. In some news of sport now, the Defence Force reached the summit of local football once again, clinching the Tier 1 Division title in the Trinidad and Tobago Premier Football League. Their 2-0 victory over AC Port of Spain capped off another successful season, including the Tetron men qualifying for the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. It was also a special moment for Catherine St. Hilaire, who scored the title-winning goal. In a season filled with unexpected departures, he became the main striker for the team. After winning the league last season as assistant coach, this year's triumph was the first for Devon Josling as head coach. Taking a look at today's weather forecast for the period today until tonight, Trinidad and Tobago will experience a generally fair morning. However, a few brief showers are expected by late morning into early afternoon, with a low chance for a moderate to heavy shower developing mainly near hilly areas of southwest Trinidad. Seas are moderate with waves up to 1.5 meters in open water and less than 1 in sheltered areas. The current temperature is 26 degrees Celsius. And that was your TTT News Update. I am Ria Ripchansing. Do have a good morning and happy Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
It's Pizza Payday at Mario's.
1 day only, Monday, March 30th. Buy 1 family specialty pizza, get 1 free.
Choose your favorites: tropical chicken, pizza, or garden delight.
That's 2 large family specialty pizzas for just $150.
Dine in, pick up, or get it delivered straight to your door.
Call 225-KING, download the My Mario's app, or order online at mymarios.com. Mario's Pizza, just the way you like like it.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms? Not enough customers, low sales, or slow cash flow? It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge? And confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just for you. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Nice. We are back. Time check. Yeah, it's about 5 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. Are you listening to the Ground Report? But again, thinking about what it is Orlando said and what it is I being a devil's advocate on the grounds of one holiday. Again, in a way, I also see kind of practically impossible in a way, because knowing that some of those holidays, there's wait for various moon. So in order to start to celebrate various things. So, why? But I find it too much holidays in Trinidad and Tobago, and I believe that it should have one day to really and truly celebrate that, but it will be a very, very complicating situation, really and truly.
Lennox, you were going to say
I'm saying that I was trying to ideate, I was trying to, grapple with the concept of a single holiday for the execution of various religious activities on that one day. But I failed to see how that, having regard to the introducer of the idea, talking about Mr. Tabakit, how that is connected, how that mega holiday is connected.
Was Andy the
he introduced it since one day. Mm-hmm. But I failed to see how that will impact on crime, on the reduction of crime, or the reduction of crime, or the elimination of crime. I can't see the nexus, can't see the connection. But he seemed to believe that somehow that mega day for religious activities of the various let's say denominational entities in the country, it will somehow equate to the elimination of crime. I can't see it. And you're quite right, Andy. You're brought to the forefront, for example, the spiritual Shouter Baptist Day. The reason why it is held on the 30th of March is because the prohibition was repealed on the 30th of March 1951. You see?
Okay.
And therefore you talk about the moon and you talk about other variables that certainly would make it impossible to have, of course, a common and mega day for the execution of religious activities.
Because then the Hindus go ahead, Snipe. Go ahead.
I heard Andy's plight when he said that he believes that there are too many holidays in Trinidad, which is a great discussion to be had. And I kind of was asking myself the question that we should have asked earlier on: why do we have so many holidays? And it kind of led me to researching the reason why governments commemorate so many holidays. Is because we live in a society where we have different people from different backgrounds, and they may have had different struggles along the way. Some would be historical, some would be cultural, You know, and these things are significant to different people from different backgrounds. Anyone would be happy. In the case of spiritual Baptists, you know, in the case of spiritual Baptists, they were subjected to something that no other religion was subjected to in this country. And we must always take note of that, because if you forget where you come from, you don't know where you're going. And Lennox said it earlier on. Lennox said it earlier on when you guys were having the discussion. So we can't just push aside the fact that people's freedom was taken away from them, your rights. We can't, anytime we talk in constitution and we talk in fairness and we talk in equality, we must never forget what we passed through and why we have these, why we were granted to commemorate.
So
these
therefore,
holidays.
one day will not satisfy that.
Exactly.
Because, of course, emancipation, for example, was on a particular period and a particular experience. Of course,
The
arrival
caller from
day,
the States,
Indian arrival day.
the caller from the States said that they don't have these days. And that's because this could lead to a lot of things. It could be because we don't recognize you as someone of significance in this land. But in Trinidad and Tobago, we recognize the Hindu, the role and functions of the Hindus, the Muslims, the spiritual Baptists, and even the Catholics, and the rest of denominations.
Yeah. Well, to be fair to the caller, the evolution of the American civilization has charted a different course altogether, because remember, that came from the European explorers who settled there. They had their own religion and so on. And then, of course, America became the melting pot for any and anybody to migrate and to come in. In fact, they coined a particular concept called the American life, the American effort. Come here and here is milk and honey and so on, and everybody gravitated there. So they came at different times. But in the context of Trinidad, what we could identify is that at specific time, the Fatal Razak came. That was the first, of course, boatload of Indians. So that's a clear date. In the case of the Americans, it evolved sporadically and over time, and even now, people still are coming to make what is the American society, as opposed to Trinidad and Tobago, where we could identify when the Chinese came, when the Indians came, when the Africans were liberated, etc.
And not just
therefore,
identify, acknowledge.
Yeah. And therefore,
not just identify, we must acknowledge as well.
Yeah.
You understand?
But those who are the leaders
of the
must,
contributions.
But the leaders who would have emerged from this melting pot, from this mosaic, must acknowledge that and, of course, execute accordingly. And that is why we have what we have today.
Well, then let me
being unique in our own right.
I take my leave and I go back to the controls.
Right. And let me ask a question then, which is a very big question then. What have now recognizing all these various religions really and truly brought positive to Trinidad and Tobago, really? Just a question.
Well, we have our dishes, we have our various culture, we have, of course, the mixing thereof and the production of calypso and soca and chutney soca. We have, of course, the multi-wear fashions and so on that we have developed, and we have, of course, the commonality carnival, where we can now convert into some kind of product.
Right.
You know what I love about you, Andy? You're able to draw me out at specific times. I took my leave and I come back in.
Because here would have been my next big question. All what it is you saying there that we have and all those various things. America, at the end of the day, right? While I understand that in Trinidad and Tobago, it may be a little hard, but America, at the end of the day, have all these various things too. And they learn about their culture and the dishes, and they have this and they have that, but they give everybody one day.
So let me add to that.
So,
let me add to that.
Yeah.
Let me add to that, Andy. The fact that the government, the country, chose to acknowledge, it gives the people a sense of pride. Not just the food and the clothes. It gives the people a sense of pride to press on and do their part in the society.
But that's the context of Trinidad. But
I'm speaking from the context of Trinidad.
Yeah, I know. But but he is asking about America, and he's saying that America has the same thing. But
well, I can't speak for America.
Yeah,
That's a different culture.
Yeah, but there's a big difference here, that in particularly in contemporary times, in modern times, it is based on politics. So that, for example, the Latinos in the United States, a very major block of potential votes. You find that the decision makers in the United States will know, and if somebody from that community advocate, let's say, for a holiday or a special event, they will get it because they want to make certain that whether it be the presidential elections or the other elections that come from time to time, that they are in their corner.
So the politics, so lo and behold,
a different ballgame altogether.
So lo and behold, well then I could say the reason for all these religious holidays in Trinidad and Tobago is because of politics. Then I could say that then. Then I could really say that.
It plays a part.
No. There's a difference here. Because the religious leaders or the advocates for the particular holiday, let's say Emancipation, for example, or even Indian Arrival Day, the leaders who would have studied, who would have understood what is happening, will tell a cosmopolitan leadership, because the construct of the leadership in terms of the people are themselves from different communities as well. What I'm talking about, ethnic and religious and other backgrounds and concepts and so on. They will make a part of the leadership of the country, and depending on how forceful the advocacy is, they eventually will get it, as is the case with the Shouter Baptist.
And we in a certain amount of power as well, and favor.
Yeah.
Well, boy.
So you have to recognize it. It's human evolution. Yeah. The anthropologists and those persons will understand how societies are created and how they survive.
All right, so now
we have to take a quick government information break, and
come back.
when we come back, you could.
I want to open the lines because I want to pose the question. So you all marinated in your mind before we go for that government break there. Do you believe that Trinidad and Tobago have too much holidays? Do you all believe that Trinidad and Tobago, for the religious aspect, should have just one holiday for all the religions and done? Right? You say some of them holidays is for people to feel proud and is to recognize certain things. Like, for instance, well, then I supposed to say, well, I as an African supposed to say, well, let me get rid of the emancipation, because I could see where Hindus and the various other religions holidays did something for these people. But look at emancipation. What did emancipation do? They did for we in Trinidad. Well, Africans in Trinidad. Because to me,
I want you to explain to me when you come back what did you notice it did for their people, because you just said that you saw it did something for
their various holidays. Yeah.
But so I want, when we come back, before you take the calls, for you to explain to me what you saw it did for their people, and explain as well what you see it's not doing for the others.
For the others, okay.
It's Pizza Payday at Mario's.
One day only, Monday, March 30th. Buy one family specialty pizza, get one free.
Choose your favorites: tropical chicken, pizza, or garden delight.
That's 2 large family specialty pizzas for just $150.
Dine in, pick up, or get it delivered straight to your door.
Call 225-KING, download the My Mario's app, or order online at mymarios.com. Mario's Pizza, just the way you like it.
Reaffirmed its commitment to restoring the University of the West Indies Day Bay campus, clarifying that all rehabilitation works will be undertaken exclusively through a state-appointed agency. Speaking at a recent post-cabinet press briefing, Minister of Land and Legal Affairs and Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Honorable Saddam Hussein, said Cabinet has designated Palo Seco Agricultural Enterprises Limited as the sole executing agency responsible for the repair and rehabilitation of the facility.
In September 2025, PSCL received a facility condition assessment report which outlined the current conditions of the campus at all material times. And I say this without fear of contradiction. At all material times, the University of the West Indies was kept abreast of what the government was doing with respect to the repairs.
According to Minister Hussein, those works form part of the broader rehabilitation plan already being coordinated by the state. The immediate priority, he said, is to return the campus to a state of operational readiness.
It is only the government of Trinidad and Tobago, through the PSCL, that will be conducting all of the repairs and rehabilitation of the campus so that we can have an intake of students for the upcoming academic year.
Minister of Land and Legal Affairs and Minister in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Honorable Saddam Hussein. The government says the rehabilitation of the Daybay campus is part of a wider effort to restore critical infrastructure and expand access to tertiary education in South Trinidad. Decisions regarding academic programs and faculty use are still under consideration and will be announced at a later stage.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
The Ground Report with Mandy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Nice, and that was a very, very, very good question. We are back. Time check, it's 21 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report. But I'll make example for just specifically one holiday that I see technically was worth it. It emboldened the people, their people. It made the people, that specific people, feel a serious, but not only that religion, it have a next one too, but I will just stick to one. Of their worth, their value, their power in Trinidad and Tobago, which is the Hindu religion. And I learned that through the deceased Satmaraj. On that whole issue of giving a holiday, how empowered they are, and the relevance of that holiday for them. And then I will watch on the next example of giving a holiday. That one is not a religious, like for instance Emancipation Day, and it's supposed to have a CAFO Cambon or some committee that's supposed to get a lot of government funding, that's supposed to really and truly teach the people about this whole emancipation situation, and play a role in standing up for the African people who they say have been butchered, who come here as slaves, when they say Indian come as indented laborers and all those various things. And in my book, the emancipation holiday compared to the Hindu holiday, in my book, based on what I see and the benefits, the Hindus benefit from that holiday in many ways more than Emancipation Day, and the Africans that's supposed to symbolize that African and we all get emancipated and this and that and all those various things. So in my book, the Emancipation Day is really and truly a waste of time. I ain't see no benefits from it, other than it's a holiday to recognize, hey, we was emancipated, we come here how much years ago, but they don't play a role in helping Africans in this country compared to the other holidays that the Muslims holidays and all, you still see where that holiday benefit them, benefit the people, benefited Trinidad and Tobago on the whole. Based on schools. Go ahead.
And my question to you was, in what way?
I explained again. I just explained the way in which the benefited.
You said it made the people feel empowered.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one. Two. I'm counting with you.
Right.
It made the people empowered.
It made the people feel
empowered.
Very empowered. It make them more feel good about it. I will empowered. I will leave it plain as it made them feel plenty more empowered.
So is it that other religious holidays don't make the other fractions feel empowered as well?
Muslims, yes. The Muslim, yes.
Is it that
the rest,
you are not aware?
No, the rest, no. The Christian faith, to me, it don't make me feel empowered.
But how can you say that?
It don't make me feel empowered.
Well, I guess that's just your view, Andy.
Well, boy. Again, remember,
Because
with all I was talking,
I feel very empowered today. I am very happy.
Mhm.
I appreciate the fact that the day is being commemorated. Who are you to say that I don't feel that way?
Again, I talk on behalf of me. I say again, Andy.
All right.
Remember,
And
at all times, I say Andy.
we have to be very careful when we give when we feel entitled to our view, because sometimes your view may not be the truth. You see, a lot of people said that I'm entitled to my own opinion, but your own opinion may not be based on fact. It's your opinion. It's what you believe according to what you live.
Wrong.
It's
based on my fact. Because look at that people online is singing the same thing. So who's you to say that what it is I say that I cannot say because it's not the opinion of this one or that one. Again, it's everyone has the opportunity to give an opinion. And it's based on that and based on their fact. And my fact is, this is my fact. It does it have specific holidays, does nothing, absolutely nothing for me.
For you. And now that you add in those two words, for you, I can agree with you. But when you say early, you see, as the narrator, you have to be very careful of the message that you send. Now that you add for you, I can rest my case. But when you say, I feel it don't do nothing, we have to be careful of the message that we send. You know, and sometimes that's why I stay really quiet in the background, because I tend to choose my words wisely.
But again, it come like you're playing sense with nonsense too, because again, with I saying dress that what you say there, I feel it do nothing for us. I still turn around and say that's my Andy Williams opinion.
You can't say us. You have to say you.
Okay, I feel it do nothing for me.
Right, and I could respect.
And I could still talk on the behalf of many other people. May it not be the majority. It may not be the most, but it have a lot of people feels the same way.
I can respect that, and I hope that in future we would try to send more of a positive message than broad brush any particular religion or any particular persuasion in a direction of negativity.
Nah, I tend to disagree, because the Ground Report program on the whole is about that. Talking plain based on how people feel. Everybody have their opinion, and it will have the people out there to call in and bring that positive spin. Hence the reason, like for instance, that's what makes the Ground Report very interesting. I start off the program this morning.
And that's why I said that I stayed quiet when you called me in, because I know you're shaping the show.
Good. I start off the program this morning based on, which is a fact. Well, it's a fact, it's an opinion, And again, then I might be contradicting myself based on what you say.
Careful. An
By
opinion
right.
is not always fact.
That the spiritual Baptist religion is disunited. I could say is a fact based on the things that I see. I could afford to say they're broken. Right? And Lennox Smith technically agreed with all of that, but give reasons why. Based on everybody else, and you and all did it, everybody else's religion they always had a religion free and open, and there was out there. But with the spiritual Baptists, the proclamation, as he said, I think what he said, 1950, it was when it was proclaimed. Yes, sir.
The declaration, the declaration of the prohibition would have been 1917.
Right.
And of course, the repeal was 1951.
Right. So 1917 compared to 1951, right?
Yeah. Some 34 years ago.
So he gave reasons why the spiritual Baptist faith in Trinidad and Tobago have not blossomed as the other religions and them in Trinidad and Tobago. But that still don't take me away from saying factually, based on what I see, and many people will agree with me, that hardly likely it will reach further or reach in the realm of the other faiths and them, Hindus, the Muslims, and all the other faiths. Hardly likely it will ever reach that level in Trinidad and Tobago here, because to me and to many people, the spiritual Baptist faith is too disunited. And have there been a united force, the achievements and goals and the things that they would have wanted to accomplish would have been easier to.
But
So
of course, that is against the background that it is impossible. The unification of which you speak will be impossible. So therefore, you have to be very eclectic, meaning that you have to be selective. You have to identify a particular grouping within, and then make your analysis. But to say that you expect that only if the different, should I say, let's say is a five finger, each one has a different height. You don't expect all of them to be at the same height. That is the reality.
Right.
So therefore, what you have to do is to say what role the thumb is playing, what role the index finger is playing, what role the middle finger, etc., etc. That is how you have to analyze. And if it is that they are going in the right direction or the wrong direction, then you could also draw a conclusion there.
Right.
Could you say, for example, the Council of Elders Spiritual Shelter Baptist of Trinidad, of which I am a part, and which is led by Archbishop Barbara Grayburg, are you saying that the early childhood school, the primary school, now a secondary school coming, and of course a hospice, and all of the other benefits that one could conceivably see emanating from that, you can see in the future that this particular entity will reach the heights of even the well-established today religions in this country?
Yes, man, I like that. I like this conversation. And let me tell you why. Yes and no. And now let me explain. So people go understand why me now too by unite. Unity, I not going down the road as that way say they. Like for instance, that will only be established, Lennox Smith, with a UNC government in power. A PNM government would not think about organizing the secondary school and the this and the that. And you know what? Although all is Baptist, this, and PNM are them part who they support them, this is a very good venture. Why, when the politics ain't playing and there will the unity coming, that other sector ain't say at the end of the day, like how Muslims they say it, you touch one Muslim, you touch all. You're unfair to one Baptist, you're unfair to all. Why that part, it is 5 different Baptist groups that make up this council of elders. Why, when disadvantages going on with one, the other that make up the 5 fingers, none ain't coming out openly to talk on behalf of one of the fingers that make up 5 fingers. That is what I'm saying. That is what shows me the disunity.
It is based on what you are looking for. You talk to any Baptist,
all right,
and see if any one of them will be averse to the fact that it's good for the Baptists to find themselves in that situation.
No, all right, let me give a good example.
So therefore that in itself is unity.
I love the way Andy mind works, though. I love the way Andy mind works. He even have me on this side thinking about unity.
All right, but it's not in the direction where Lennox talking, you know, because they don't have the unity as a council of elder. Watch them give a next example. Lennox Smith have on the ground report within the 10 years that that the UNC was in opposition with the Baptists. Every year Lennox Smith come and tell we that how the Baptists, their part, the Archbishop Bababurg part, Snipes, only get, when the UNC was there, they was getting $500,000 and they was getting $300,000, and that how the one in Maloney come and give the 500 and they give Archbishop Bababurg to run she celebrations $40,000, which is a slap in the face. And you know that next 5 finger in Maloney, that all of them supposed to be Baptists, including the boring one who come in the other day, Mr. Nichols, that boring one and all. He's a separate one who come in yesterday, the other day. None of them go. All right, them under the former government got. Look at what they're doing their own basket faith. The ladies' celebrations to do it is cost them being 200,000 or 400,000. Them see a government cut away that and spit in she face for 40,000. You know, all the rest of the 5 fingers that's supposed to be the council elders, they stay quiet, they ain't talk for she alone talking for herself, and Lennox Smith had to talk for she. Till he said he was going to sue the government based on equality and how they treated, and knowing that Archbishop Bababurg was the founder. Come on, man. Some people may not understand the direction of why you're talking about unity, but that is why what I said unity.
I understand clearly where you are coming from. That if one is endangered, then the others ought to lend a helping hand. But if that is not the reality, then what you are left with each canoe, so to speak, or each tub had to sit on its own bottom. It is the own bottom aspect of it I am talking about, where when you would have reached a certain level where you don't have to depend on government in this case, then of course you can talk independently, you can talk cooperation that otherwise you would not have spoken simply because you are not beholden to anyone. But if one group, you can't vex with them. Me vex with them if they have an advantage at a certain point in time because they hitch their wagon to something that would give them the benefit. Then all fine. Gentlemen. But when the table turn, don't vex either.
All right.
I am hoping.
That is why there's what's the Muslim religion.
Going around in circles.
No. Let me finish it. I'm saying that if each one of them, when they would have reached a certain level, is no different to the Syrians and those that are called the 1%ers.
I try to stop.
Yeah, no difference. They got a helping hand. And at a certain point in time, they became so independent that even those who would have given them the seed in order to reach where they are, now have to turn and ask them for assistance in instead. That is the evolution. That is the process in which I am talking.
Right. We have commercials, but I want Andy to go to the lines.
Yeah, we have to go to the lines, people. Sorry about that. But this has become so consuming.
But now I hope all you understand how I just watch unity. Because again, when I see the Muslim faith and how they just talk for each other, either or, there's openly criticize. If they see any one or the other being advantaged, there's openly stand up and
depends
support.
on what is the priority. Another Baptist will not decry another Baptist if they are talking in the context of that they were at disadvantage. But in this case here, the difference and the nuance is that we're talking about financial maybe assistance. And if I attach myself here, then I may have to ignore disadvantage of my colleague. No, it happens all over. That is how it is.
Lennox, you talk.
Sony versus the other Baptists. Look at what's happening in the Middle East. Iran is, of course, Shiite, and Saudi Arabia, etc., are what? Sunnis. And you see what is happening there.
No, we still cannot use
America
that.
America on we side today, so therefore I could come up against my counterpart.
And not allowing Lennox now to make that as a reasoning. Because here what? The Middle East, and you know why you're laughing? Because I have an answer for that too. That's only occur where their own neighbors, Muslim neighbors, and them turn against them because Iran, where that's supposed to be a Muslim country, start a fire upon their own neighbors. But before that, America was not allowed to launch or to attack, and they were all was against the law, was against the war. They all were.
Let me bring the same thing to you here now today. No Baptist would have allowed anybody to prevent the Baptist community in general from advocating for the repeal of the act that caused them to be in bondage.
Oh, God.
That's all.
All right.
Right, good. Let's go for the break.
Bondage.
And when we come back,
bondage, how are they disunited? Bondage, how are they disunited? Let's go for the break. Bondage, the 1917 and the 1951, that is what all here disunited.
People will open up the lights. Afterwards, and this is good. It's getting hot in here.
It's Pizza Payday at Mario's.
One day only, Monday, March 30th. Buy one family specialty pizza, get one free.
Choose your favorites: tropical chicken, pizza, or garden delight.
That's 2 large family specialty pizzas for just $150.
Dine in, pick up, or get it delivered straight to your door.
Call 225-KING. Download the My Mario's app or order online at mymarios.com. Mario's Pizza, just the way you like it.
Protect yourself from electric shock or death. Before conducting repairs close to overhead lines or the point of connection to your home, contact Tech to request a temporary disconnection. When driving tall vehicles, ensure they do not exceed 15 feet. Do not lift lines to allow vehicles to pass. When carrying out underground works, contact Tech's area offices to ensure there are no underground conductors and cables before digging. At Tech, safety is our priority. Tech, the power to make it work.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry Lean Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
It's all good right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation.
I'm waiting for a super right, but I've got to go quick. I've got to go quick.
From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Today we pause to honor strength, faith, and resilience as we celebrate Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day. On this day, we recognize the journey of the Spiritual Baptist community whose right to worship was once restricted, but whose spirit could never be silenced. Their liberation in 1951 stands as a powerful reminder of perseverance, identity, and cultural pride. From all of us here at Talk City 91.1 FM, we extend heartfelt greetings to the Spiritual Baptist community and to all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. May this day inspire reflection, unity, and continued respect for the traditions that shape who we are as a people. Happy Spiritual Baptist Liberation Day.
Stay right here, but I'm catching the power. Feeling the waves and I'm catching the power.
It's Pizza Payday at Mario's.
One day only, Monday, March 30th. Buy one family specialty pizza, get one free.
Choose your favorites: tropical chicken, pizza, or garden delight.
That's 2 large family specialty pizzas for just $150.
Dine in, pick up, or get it delivered straight to your door.
Call 225-KING, download the My Mario's app, or order online at mymarios.com. Mario's Pizza, just the way you like it.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Nice. We are back. And yes, this going around in circles, as some people will comment, going on in circle and they're not seeing no end. Right? But the whole purpose of this being mentioned, why I bringing up this, I am absolutely totally happy for the Baptists and the Baptist people and the Baptist holiday, everything. But I am just giving my perspective on how people perceive what's going on and why they are, how they are when on the line of being broken and all those various things. I agree that the government have to organize and give them that help at this point in time in order to catch themselves due to the same 1917 and in 1951. But my conversation is going along the line of it will then have to continue getting government help, because in order now for it to be able to move forward, the main part of all of that is the unity among themselves. Not unity among some people do their faith different to some, or some people practice different to some, and the Oasis and the Shango and the spiritual shouters. And no, at the end of the day, it have a council called the Council of Elders that have all these various heads and the various people. And those heads in serious moments do not support, as Lennox Smith bring the 5 fingers as an example. One of the 5 fingers start to get rotten, start to get sick, start to feel sick. It need a tetanus or it need a little help based on voice, based on boldfacedly standing up for, because at the end of the day, the Baptist religion is the same. All of them is the same Baptist, but different practices. Am I not right or am I not wrong with what I'm saying, Trinidad and Tobago? But what weakens them is that one would not talk for one because they don't want to lose out on where number 2 5 fingers may have to get, or number 3 go have to get. So based on strenuous things, when one are being affected, whether being affected by political victimization or what, if it is all that we believe, it is our faith and we believe in Almighty God, Jed. And it's about love. God teach about love, unity, standing up for each other, honoring each other. But in that faith, it may have it in the others, but again, it's open for you to see, based on many examples my co-hosts have been bringing from on this program, crying out about the advantages of 1 out of the 5 fingers that come across really, really bad to me, and that's the unity I'm talking about. If it's God, if it's about God, and they love God.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. The argument is solid, Andy. Nobody in their right mind will decry, disagree. And you could find it, maybe the ultimate example is in the IRO, the Interreligious Organization of Trinidad and Tobago, where if you have a Baptist representative there, that person is obligated to represent all Baptists. But when it comes to the fragmenting or the actual real world scenario where there are different practices of the same generic type, then you understand where we are at this point in time. So you're quite right. There's a need for that overall understanding. I am your brother's keeper, and you must keep me.
And you know, right? And you know why the other religions are more respected and come across more united? Because when you touch one, jump high, jump low. Remember, them could afford to say God, and they could talk down to the PNM, they could talk back to the PNM, they could talk back to the UNC, they could talk to anybody. What Satmaraj? Satmaraj used to hit Kamala at the UNC hard, hit the PNM hard. Anybody
if any sub entity is affected, he comes out and speak as well.
Exactly.
In the favor of that entity. So I accept that as a fact. But let me just before we have about 10 more minutes, so let me just say, here we came to, when we talked about the 1917, here it is, and of course the circumstances of the country at the time, the First World War, which ended of course in 1918, and then of course 30-something years afterward, 34 years afterwards, 1951, well, that would have been 6 years after the Second World War would have ended, because the Second World War would have been in 1939 to 1945. So it means that 6 years after that, the prohibition was of course repealed, and that was in March. So what were the circumstances of Trinidad and Tobago in that period? March. It means therefore Carnival, yes, Carnival, and of course Easter. And that was the atmosphere that the repealing of that prohibition was in. And my understanding from my research was that, of course, World War II finished. That was a bumper carnival. Everybody was celebrating. All of the Baptist community came out in their various ways and so on, and celebrated handsomely in 1951, just around March. And of course, the other religions also join in, because here it is, if you want to call it a bastard child, has now regained or re-entered the flock, so to speak. So I just put people in that frame of mind as to what was happening around that time in Trinidad and Tobago.
Nice. Like for instance, look, Mother Bernie. And Mother Bernie, I want to believe is a Baptist. I want to believe so. I'm not too sure, from Tobago. She's saying all they want is positions, not unity. They know more than everybody. They don't listen. Understanding what Trinidad and Tobago whiting from. So here how I watch at it. Two, white is the Baptist faith is not respected in Trinidad and Tobago, and the other faiths are more respected, right? Because it come like money by God. That will come like because this one where all of them is together in the Baptist faith together. Again, I am happy and I will continue advocating that the Baptist people get the help that they need because of the things that Lennox Smith explained there, right? But in order for them to grow more, they had to come together, all right? This one wouldn't want to stand up for Baba Burke, right? This part of the Five Fingers, 2-3 of them would not want to stand up for Archbishop Baba Burke on that unfair play because they don't want to talk for her because they don't want to lose out on their subsidy. So it come like, when it comes into their religion, when it comes into God, when it comes into unity, when it comes into trueness, money bought them. Money bought them. God, that is what's showing all going on with the Baptist faith, boy. And it's plain to see.
Yeah, but I've gone further to say when the point is reached where money no longer is a significant player or influencer, then I think the point of unity, the point of true unity, the point of saying, well, listen, we have a bakery to construct. I can put out 50,000, you put out 50,000, etc., etc. I'm just using that as an example, and therefore we don't need to have that player, which of course in this case is the government, whichever party that would have been in government. You don't need to depend on them again. Just as the Syrians on them and the 1%ers.
But by then, Lennox, I don't think that will happen just so within the faith. Because it will happen within one out of the five fingers or two out of the five fingers of the whole thing, Lennox Smith. But I don't think it will happen because by then, the trust, Lennox, they don't trust each other.
No, remember, that is over time. So its generations have to pass and understand that. Trinidad and Tobago's perspective and the society itself has changed from the 1930s and the 1940s and so on. You know, today we have a situation that's very enlightened. The information technology dominates the play and so on. And
the caller only calling. Let me hear this caller.
Let me hear the caller.
Go ahead, caller.
Let me hear the caller because we just have about 5 more minutes.
Go ahead, caller. Morning. Go ahead. You're really, really trying. Go ahead, Regent John. Morning.
Mr. Andy Williams.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, sir. First time caller on your show.
Yes,
on your program.
Thank you so much
Lennox
for
Smith.
calling.
Good morning to you as well.
Smith and Snipes.
Yes.
I just have one thing to ask you guys is that when the Bally's house was building, they did all kind of barbecue and raffle ticket and whatever. Why the government have to be giving money to whoever? Why they can't organize their own raffle ticket and lottery ticket to make money too? Because the previous government make endless money in raffle ticket. So why they can't do the same thing?
You see?
Go organize and get raffle ticket to sell.
And when you saying that as a first time caller, you talking across the board, meaning government shouldn't be giving no religion no money.
None. Because every time you just hear they want this, they want that, they want the money for this, they want the money for that, they want the money for whatever. And even for carnival too. Carnival is a big thing that they're making money and still every year they want money from the government. Oh God, man. I'm fed up with this thing, man. But I have something else to talk about, but
we will talk that next time. Let me go to Mother Bernie again, who's a Baptist. Mother Bernie said
I trust Andy. No, wait. I trust that I sense at the beginning a sense of sarcasm in that because I don't believe that he really believed that his barbecue and so on that Bill Bally's house. I hope not. I hope not. That's what I'm saying. I like the argument across the board, but I just simply hope that he doesn't believe there's barbecue and raffle at that Bill Barry's house. There's a different story altogether. I can see that happening for the others that he mentioned. But let's be careful here. Otherwise, it has been nestled in sarcasm.
Nice. Look, Mother Bernie again, who admit that yes, I am a Baptist. She admit that, right? Mother Bernie is saying, right? All right. June Jack, right, which is an ex-Tobagonian, who I believe is a Baptist too, say, Andy, some of them stray from what Archbishop Griffith brought to the Baptist faith. You will know what it is, Miss June Jack talking about.
Yeah, he was the founding advocate for the repealing of that ordinance. Yes.
Nice. Mother Bernie is saying they like to look bad. They don't want to be exemplars to the people who really need their advice. That Mother Bernie, who's a Baptist. Understand why he's showing you, this unity is not only to the top, it's among the people who is Baptist itself. It really
disunited. And that comes from particular direction as well. The leaders, their leaders, and they would generate a kind of psychological animosity that that manifests itself in how the ordinary worshipper view themselves and view their colleagues and view the society. But
nice, we have to
the
go.
signal is being given. Yes, we have to go.
We have to go, but
yes.
Trinidad and Tobago, let me say a happy holiday to the Baptist community. The conversation this morning, because I must clear that, and my direction in shaping the show had everything to do with how I see the rest of religious organizations being well respected in the political arena, and besides the political arena, in the private arena too. They are well respected compared to my Baptist brothers and sisters. And my Baptist brothers and sisters, it have those things that you all need to put in place because all they deserve to be respected. All their voices deserve to be powerful. All they deserve it. Right? So please, I wish you all the best. I hope that government continue giving you all subventions until you all can catch yourselves accordingly. But that is just that little thing that you all need to do is just unite. And so long as you all unite, my Baptist people will be a force to be reckoned with. And people wouldn't be watching you all as nobody. Because all your voice really and truly out here and no voice. I'm being honest. Compared to the Muslims, they have a voice. The Hindus have a voice. Imagine the Pentecostals have a voice. The Jehovah Witness them have a voice. And all you who deserve to have a voice don't. Get all yourself together. And may God continue
I just want to
bless
say
all the
quickly,
religions.
Andy, that unity is within the context of the diversity. Let us not because they will. If you're talking about pure unity, it will never happen. But unity in the context of the diversity, the various ways that people practice their religion.
Very good.
All right, that's the only proviso I would want to put in. People,
Very
of
good.
course, have a wonderful one. I will be at Maloney. I will be, of course, the master of ceremonies there from 10 o'clock we begin. So track up there, have it as a sort of a pilgrimage to the Empowerment Hall at Maloney, and I'll see you there.
Nice. So
Also,
Trinidad and Tobago.
heavy duty is in for Off the Record today. So guys, look out. You're gonna have a great time with heavy duty on for Off the Record today. And of course, look out tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. We will link with
Yeah, but
TV.
Wait, listen. Heavy Duty will be there for Off the Record. So it's Heavy Duty and Mr. X. Huh?
Well, yeah. I believe it's Heavy and X.
Okay,
I'm not sure. I have Heavy.
You have Heavy. Okay, so Trinidad and Tobago, until tomorrow morning, please God, we are out of here.
Bang, 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 bang. It's pizza Payday at Mario's.
One day only, Monday, March 30th. Buy one family specialty pizza, get one free.
Choose your favorites: tropical chicken, pizza, or garden delight.
That's 2 large family specialty pizzas for just $150.
Dine in, pick up, or get it delivered straight to your door.
Call 225-KING, download the My Mario's app, or order online at mymarios.com. Mario's Pizza, just the way you like it.
Protect yourself from electric shock or death. Before conducting repairs close to overhead lines or the point of connection to your home, contact TN-Tech to request a temporary disconnection. When driving tall vehicles, ensure they do not exceed 15 feet. Do not lift lines to allow vehicles to pass. When carrying out underground works, contact power to make it work.
This Good Friday, April 3rd, join the La Hoquita Gospel